Hello everybody, we're back in the GCM Scale Garage and we're going to have a look today at the almost ready for sale GCM parts for the twin hammers. We've got a real special lineup of stuff here to make this kit into a really scale buggy. The first off is going to be the, we'll talk about the roof panel here that's just about ready to go. And we'll have a talk about the interior kit, which you might have seen on one of our other videos. And if you've been watching our GCM YouTube channel, you've probably seen this buggy and the other two bashing around. And we really take pride in the fact that we test our components and make sure they're good for you before you go out on the trail. So we're going to have a look at this. And first of all, I'll give you a rundown on what's happening with the Twin Hammers roof kit. And as you know, the Twin Hammers comes with the Lexan lid here and a little bit of tube work inside. It attaches up to the shock tower, and we've actually extended that out so with this new design so that the rear of the buggy here is actually also tied in. It goes a whole bolt pattern behind on the factory tube work, and we've got this all brand new tube geometry here that shows off the interior kit real well. So there's 6 bolts here, 3 on each side, and then the 2 in the top for a total of 8. And that takes the roof panel right off. So we've already removed the hardware from that and it's ready to go. The interior kit is a replacement for the Lexan panel and a replacement for the front tube work here as well that goes up to the windshield tower. So what we've done here is, of course, we're using our GCM front shock tower plate here, so that gives us the opening hood opportunity. And with that, we've taken out the 4 screws that hold the interior. This is our painted up prototype here, ready to go. And this, with the tube work unbolted, this simply just pops right out like that. It's a real simple setup, and we have it all wired onto one plug ready for the receiver. So all of our LED lighting we have in here is running on 6 bolts, and it's a real simple setup, and we just join them together so that we've got our dash lit up just at the same time as we have all the roof lamps and the tail lights and markers. So let me get rid of this truck here. You can see how much room is in that. We've actually used a full Wraith seat. You can see that at the back of the seat down there in the bottom, we've actually unbolted the seat from the base and moved the seat ahead about 3/8 of an inch so that Shaggy looks pretty good in the truck. The seat height for the stock Wraith seat was a little bit too tall. It was up about here. So we trimmed down the bottom of the seat and just dropped it back down and reattached it. And the full bottom of the Wraith seat is actually in the vehicle behind the steering servo, and there's lots of room for his legs. You get a full scale points for having a full-size driver in there. And it doesn't interfere with any of the transmission hardware or anything. There's lots of room for that stuff. You can even put a full-size servo in here and still put the GCM interior kit on top. So lots of room there. First off, let's have a look at the GCM roof panel here. This was carefully designed in now I think 3 or 4 different revisions by Ryan, our GCM tube designer, and he's just perfected this tube work, and he builds full-size one-to-one off-road vehicles, and so he's more than familiar with how to make the tube, what's going on with proper tube work, and so when we're talking about doing scale tube, Ryan's the guy. So we're very happy to have Ryan on the GCM team, and really looking forward to a whole bunch more products just like this for the Twin Hammers and many other vehicles. So let me show you off what he's done here in the back. With the 6 LED pods in the back of the Twin Hammers roof, we've decided at this point to add 2 reds on the outside, 2 red inside, and then an orange and a blue, which is exactly how you do it on a off-road full-size. Something that Ryan knows more than enough about. And then of course lighting is always an issue on a scale off-road rig, so we've got 6 down center firing in the front whites, and then we've got the 3 white spots on the left and the 3 white spots on the right. And the roof panel, this is a prototype version. The production roof panel actually has a new wire loom built right into the side here, which I'll show you in a minute, so that this wire going from the front to the back can actually be totally hidden in the roof panel. It's a slick little design. That was the only update we've done on the roof since our beating. The interior kit, all painted up, will come out something like this. You got lots of options with this because the parts are sort of component based, so there's several different things here that you can do. First of all, we're using an axial steering wheel off an axial tree. Pretty simple to get your hands on. There's the dash cluster. This flat dash cluster actually comes as a separate flat piece with the interior kit so that you can take it off of the light box. You see the black light box here? The light box is designed in the interior to have a side-firing LED, so you can paint the whole light box inside as black or silver or whatever light diffuser you want to use, and then you can build your entire front panel off the buggy and then literally just slide it in from the bottom afterwards and get a full, complete, gorgeous lit interior that's really easy to service and work on. So it's really handy for the building aspect because it's in components. The interior kit comes with this tiny little switch panel as well. I mean, this is tiny. You can see how big that is compared to my finger. This is a tiny switch panel. We tried our best to get that painted up so you could actually see some of the details. Here's a look at the dash and our tiny little switch panel. And then of course we've got our offset T-handle shifter there that you can mount anywhere you want on the interior panel. And that's just one idea for a setup. All the components are included except for the steering wheel. And so you have all kinds of options on how you want to set it up. Now on the batteries, the battery caps also come separately from the interior panel. And all of those pieces actually come printed in black like this. They're super high detail. Let's see if you can have a look at the detail on that. It's just incredible. There's a real high amount of detail on these kinds of parts, so they're really easy to paint. And they help you get a real scale, good looking interior. We've just wrapped some wires around the posts here and done a little bit of wiring through there, through the drop battery panel in this. You can see here also that there's an indent in the interior panel for this GCM badge, which is also included in black. Real simple to set up. And drop that right on for a good scale look. You can add your own banner on there if you decide, but we include the GCM banner for it as well. We also include a sticker sheet just in case you want to add on some extra GCM items on there. So these are tough parts, and I mean, we wanted to try these out ahead of time to make sure that when they came out onto the market, everybody got a product that they could really trust and really not have to worry about beating on. So we're going to have a look at these now. I mean, here's the original roof. This is a production part. This is exactly how you'll get it in the box. It comes just like this. They accept any kind of plastics paint. They work really, really well with a Lexan paint. We used Lexan paint for our silver base on our prototype interior paint here. And it was just a quick little shot of Lexan silver, literally a quick shot. And then we painted the rest of this with all testers model paints by hand, and it came out really well. The paint is stuck on there. It's not chipping or flaking or anything, even after all the abuse we've given it. So here's a look at the main roof. You can see here, this is the channel that we added since the prototype. So the production parts actually have this really nice little wire channel. It's just barely visible from the top. You'd almost never see it in your rig. But to be able to hide the wires going from the front out to the back, and then you can drop your wiring down at the back by the shock tower and nobody will know that there's stuff up in the roof there. So that's just a great way of doing it. All these light pods here, they take a 5mm LED all the way around. So you got 12 in the front there you can choose from, and then we've got another 6 in the back for the rear firing. In the interior, you can see here that the battery caps are off. This is the main interior panel and how it comes in the kit. It's very straightforward, really simple, solid piece of one-piece plastic, and this stuff is tough. Like, you don't need to be worried about this cracking off when you're going through your rough roads and whatever. I mean, one of the reasons why I didn't want to build a styrene interior for my twin hammers is because this thing takes a beating. You know, I'm not sure you can really see the detail of the scratches and the beating that this roof has taken, but we have really worked this thing hard, and just, I mean, we've really beaten it really hard. It won't break, and it doesn't seem to have any adverse effects on it to be beaten that hard. I mean, it's been flipped off of rocks upside down from 3 feet up, and it's, you know how people drive twin hammers pretty hard. It's a real fun rig. So the interior has to be as tough. One of the things that we added to this for the production model that we didn't have on the prototype was this front cross tube here, which we've added. It bolts directly into the original crosser on the Twin Hammers front, and we just added it right into the part for the front here, so you can just paint it black and it blends right into your tube work, and then you can continue your interior paint as you go. Now on this panel here, the switch panel and shifter panel, it's nice and thick. If you feel like adding your own toggle switches in there for your own set of lighting or whatever, there should be lots of material in there for you to bolt on the nut on the top and get your actual toggle switches going as you wish. You can also bolt them in the back here, because the back panel beside the batteries here around the sides of the shock tower, they're tough too. There's tons of material here. You can bolt your switches right in there, and this interior kit is ready to tumble and ready to take your paint. And I think you guys are really going to love scaling up your Twin Hammers with the GCM interior kit and the GCM roof panel, and there's lots more to come. So let's have a look at this, a quick install here, because with the top roof cage off, the cage on the Twin Hammers is real flexy, so it's really easy to get the stuff in there. On our kit, we're just going to open our hood here with the GCM front shock tower plate, and now we've got lots of room to drop the interior in, so we'll go ahead and do that first. After you've built it and you've got your dash in and your dash light here already set right into the side of the dash cavity, you got your battery posts on, you got your badge on, you got everything ready to go. It's all painted up. You can just drop it in as simple as this. With the seat in or out, doesn't seem to matter. It just sits right in there like this. Drop it right in. Make sure you get all your tube work lined up, and then just add your hardware. There's 2 pieces of hardware that go right in the front here from the stock tube, and then there's the 4 attachment hardwares that go right on top, the same way that the Lexan did. And there you go. Your interior is in. It fits right between the shock towers here at the back to make sure that everything's nice and tight. Fill in that whole empty area in the back. And then the roof panel is the same. So once you got your roof panel wired up and you want to drop this in, it just sits right inside the shock towers like the stock plate does. And you can drop in all your hardware in the sides. I'm just going to stick in a couple here so we can see what that's like. Turn them in by hand. And the top tube work comes in white. Real simple to paint black. You can very easily drop in your own 5mm LED lighting system there, and there we go. Now we've got a new full KOH style proper rock buggy sort of bouncer looking scale roof, and we've got lots of visibility through the tube work here to get into all of our interior details. The driver's in, ready to go, and that's the update for the almost available GCM Racing interior kit for the Twin Hammers and new buggy roof for the Twin Hammers. Watch for more coming soon.